Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger, my friends. We had the big exciting Teemo reveal the other day, and today we're now being blessed with more information about Teemo thanks to the leads over at 2XKO. So Marlon Pye and Alex Jaffe put out a little bit of a informational video just going more into detail about Teemo. And I figure we'll do a little bit of a breakdown of some of the bigger information drops, not the least of which there's some things that are surprising to me, because there are a few things that just are different than how he worked back when I played him 2 years ago in the original Riot trip. To his benefit, although probably to the frustration of people who are going to fight against him. I've already said this on Twitter, but I'll say it here now. If you're looking to make people rage quit when early access starts, probably your team to play is going to be Teemo and Jinx, because they're going to do some stuff together. And speaking of doing some stuff, here's actual in-game footage of Teemo, no trailer. The badge system we talked about in the last video, you can see them right there. And his special move, so obviously Mushroom's a big special move for him, right? It's one of the traps that he's going to fill the screen with, and he's going to frustrate you with them. And yes, he can have multiple on the screen at the same time. You can toss them in the ground, you can toss them in the air, momentum affects them a little bit. They're going to be annoying and strong. And yes, just so you know, for the issues of fairness, if the enemy attacks them, it will destroy them, or if the enemy hits Teemo, it will blow all of them up on screen. And they don't detonate right away, so you can kind of walk and block your way into them if you are patient enough. But notice this too, things can bounce off of them. They can bounce off of one another to help set up screen control. Very interesting. For the Super Mario fans in the audience, you can bounce off the mushrooms. So it actually gives Teemo a bit of air mobility to work with, so that's fun. And as seen in the trailer here, his shovel can move them around as well. So once they're placed, you can still keep moving them on the screen. His Slingshot projectiles also interact with the mushrooms. So just like you and the other mushrooms, they can also bounce off them, creating very interesting, probably very difficult arcs to move around. Once again, this is why I say Jinx is probably a great partner to cause rage quits, because imagine dealing with this nonsense while you're also dealing with Jinx's trap and rocket assist too. It's 2XKO version of Morgan Doom. And hey, there's the whole badge system, right? So basically, the more you use your various moves, the more the badges improve, and eventually you get the badge. And yes, badges persist between rounds. So Street Fighter fans, this is where we make sure to make fun of Jamie again, because he doesn't know how to do that. That's forbidden technology for him. Once you earn the mushroom badge, you get the big nasty purple mushroom, which causes poison damage. And the difference there, besides the fact it poisons you, even if you block, if you're close enough, you will eat the poison damage. So now you're sort of taking damage no matter what you do, which makes the whole mushroom game plan way more effective yet. Walk and block is suddenly getting a lot less attractive as an option. So that's mushrooms. Now let's talk about the blow darts. So blow darts is stand light. Like, it is not a special move in and of itself. It's also chainable up to 3 hits. So it effectively gives him way more range. He's a buttons character, if you will. Strong neutral because it's light, and it is air okay as well. Air version doesn't have the same range. But yeah, the more you hit with the blow dart, the more you're going to get your blow dart badge going on. Also, given that it has multiple hits, very hit confirmable, right? So probably will play very well with a very fast assist, like say Alawi's. And once you have the dart badge, the first dart of the chain, only the first one, has poison damage attached to it. So poison, just a big part of the game plan overall, right? Flows in with the whole frustration element of the character, the inevitability of poison damage. And then there's Slingshot. So like in the trailer, we've seen multiple angles. You can hold it for a longer arc. It's a true projectile. It will basically go full screen, unlike the blow darts. Blow darts have a limited screen amount. They will travel, so you can't fully zone with it. It's more of a footsies tool, neutral tool. But yeah, the Slingshot is a proper fireball, if you will. Good at controlling angles and space, not the least of which it will bounce too if it hits the ground. So that's very powerful. So now mushrooms are landmines, blow darts are quick projectiles, and this is the setup shop once you got everything else going around projectile. And just like the others, the more you use it, eventually you build up your badge. Now you have fire rocks for your Slingshot, and those do appreciably more damage, and also have the flame effect, which is important for setting up the bush. Also in the video, it stated that the fire projectile has more hit stun. So therefore, once you have that badge, you can actually start doing combos you otherwise could not do before. And again, badges persist between rounds, making it really useful for them. And as for his other specials, so he has the Bandle Dash, which is basically a Blanka ball, a Kano ball, if you will. He can just whip himself at you at full speed. Looks like a bare minimum good for his combo structure, as it'll cause a tumble state in the corner. So maybe your go-to before you get some of those badges up. Now here's the fun one. He can go invisible without the need of the bush. We already talked about that in the other trailer, right? As long as he's crouching for a few seconds, it has to be a neutral crouch. You cannot crouch block. So there is some element of risk there, but as long as you neutral crouch, you'll just go invisible for a few seconds and then, well, let the mix-ups begin, basically. You'll lose your invisibility after a few seconds once you start moving, but fair enough, I think. And of course, if you attack, then your invisibility is also removed right away. So with the right assist lockdown, he can go invisible right in front of your face, and then you just kind of gotta start guessing, I suppose. Very scary. And of course, then there's the bush, right? So the bush takes a few seconds to grow, and as we mentioned in the previous video, this remains the same. As long as you're in the bush for a few seconds, as long as you stay in the bush, you will remain invisible. So you got some freedom to move around within the context of the grass and let the enemy just try and figure it out. Certain to stress out any Pokemon trainers out there, but once you leave the confines of the bush after a few seconds, you will become visible again. And just like in the trailer, so down S2 sets up the bush, and if you hit it again while it's already live, then that becomes the teleport. So you can teleport right to the grass wherever it is on screen. I'm assuming within reason, like won't like break the camera if it's on the absolute other end on the other corner. And yes, you can set it on fire. He has multiple moves that'll set things on fire. He has his campfire normal. I think that's just down heavy. He has like his badge for his slingshot, which will also have a fire element to things. The fire does do damage and has unique elements like his parachute move, which we'll talk about in a moment. It'll create an updraft for it. So setting the whole thing on fire can definitely be to your benefit. Another major element of screen control, as it will persist through multiple hits. And we mentioned the parachute. So parachute is basically double jump, right? You just hit jump again while you're in the air, and then you'll just slow fall your way to the ground. And attacks will end it early. And just to wrap up the moveset here, we have Leaf Copter here. So Teemo will just shoot out 9 projectiles in succession. And if it's that long, you got to think, well, it's got to be good for double down. And they show exactly that, right? So Jinx has time to basically set up shop, set up a trap, and then still combo after the fact. Again, I think they're going to be good friends. And the other super, which we saw in the trailer, is Big Boy Mushrooms, which are a big old bomb. And yes, you can walk and block that just like the other ones, although you cannot destroy them. Other than just blocking it, the opponent does not get to interact with the mushroom. That's why it takes super meter, because it's a bit better. And like the other mushrooms, if you use the shovel normal, you can just kind of slap them around. And yes, it does count towards building your badge. And as a super, it counts extra towards the badge too, right? So if you really need those poison mushrooms, keep that in mind. Maybe burn some meter on it. And again, badges persist between rounds. Teemo's not a bum like Jamie. He figured out how this whole round-based fighting game thing works. And also, we have the level 3, right? It's a level 3. It's not much to say. It'll do a lot of damage, right? Although the initial hit is actually a true projectile, just to keep with the whole zoning kit. So, if you catch someone out of wares, you could conceivably use it as a reaction check, because it's got some range to it. We'll have to play around on that one. And as for the assists, yes, one of the assists will be planting a mushroom on the screen. And the assist will launch grounded enemies. So actually, it's probably going to be worth its weight in gold for combos, let alone just the whole setting up shop screen control aspect. Seems pretty okay to me. And the other assist is darts, although they don't quite show the maximum range, but he will shoot 2 darts. They're very clear to show. It'll leave the opponent standing. So if you do like Vi instant cross-up gimmicks for like left-right mix with his projectile, she will get a full combo after the fact. So for either like cross-ups or overhead, he's going to enable some greasy mix and of course some greasy screen control. We can see here the example I was mentioning earlier, like, okay, Jinx assist, let's toss out mushrooms, let's toss out the Flame Chomper's trap, and just fill the screen with trash. If people don't have easy ways around projectiles and other stuff, they're going to be up in their feelings. And Teemo's super assist, this was the big question in the other trailers. So this is where he flies across the screen just bombarding people with mushrooms. So this is a fully unique attack. It's like Jinx's super assist. It's not just one of his supers requisitioned for the super tag assist. If you're unaware, you can only do that when the character is dead though. It takes their super bar. And yeah, just given it covers the entire screen and to a large degree, seems really, really strong. Makes you wish Teemo could just be dead forever. So yeah, good little showcase. We already had a good idea of Teemo with the trailer. Now this gives us more ideas. He definitely has all new things than from the build I played 2 years ago too, which is great, fantastic. There's a lot of synergy with his just whole moveset. His assists seem really strong. Just seems like a good character overall. And yes, to mention here at the end of the video, they did talk about his height, and his little hair floof does count as a hurt box. So there are going to be some moves that whiff on him by design, But yes, most stuff will work on him. But that said, that's the update, and early access is soon. That is October the 7th. That's when Teemo launches, and the game is actually out only for PC, console soon, hopefully. But that is the news for now, and that's the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some 2XKO.